I lost part of my hearing last year, and it's just something I don't really ever get to talk about, but I want to bring a little bit more awareness to it because it's something that after it happened to me and doing a little bit more research, I learned that it happens to so many people out there and not enough people talk about this issue. Back in December 2024, I got the flu, which at first it wasn't anything concerning. For the most part, it was just a lot of congestion, the pressure, just in general, the usual stuff when you get the flu. It was nothing alarming at the time, and as a matter of fact, I was feeling better. I no longer had a headache, and my congestion was really gone, and it was for mostly about a week before we had a concert. About a week later, after I was feeling better, we had a concert. We went to see Tiesto at Echo Stage here in DC, so if you know, you know. As your typical Tiesto concert, it was loud, and at that, very loud. We were very close to the stage and close to the left speaker of the stage. My Apple Watch even got me a notification about 30 minutes in saying that if I was experiencing that level of loudness for 30 minutes or more, that it could potentially cause temporary hearing loss, which at the time I didn't think much of it. I was just really enjoying the concert and just having a great time, and I just proceeded to ignore it. The event actually took place on a Friday night, and I went through the weekend perfectly fine. I didn't feel anything weird. Monday came around, I did my work, and everything was fine. But come Tuesday, I woke up and I woke up feeling completely different. As I was doing breakfast, I was just feeling like just kind of like congested. Like it felt like I couldn't like properly hear. I would like like touch it and move it. My husband would talk to me and I could hear perfectly fine through my right ear, but through my left ear, it was feeling funny, like it was feeling muffled, and just in general, like I couldn't properly hear. And the significant at the time, since it was just night and day from the day before, was really bothering me. So my first initial reaction was just to do a telehealth appointment, which I did. And the telehealth professional told me to just make an appointment with an audiologist and an otorhinolaryngologist to take a look into my ear. As soon as I called, they deemed this an emergency and they gave me an emergency appointment for the next day, which immediately made me super alarmed. But I went there. As soon as I got there, the very first thing that they did was do an audiology test on me. When I first sat down at the machine, it hooked me up to this like hearing test situation. They locked me in a room where there was no more sound, and then they sat outside. They told me that they were gonna do my right ear first, and they gave me like a little clicker so that whenever I did hear like a noise, I would just press the clicker. I heard all the clicks with my right ear, and everything was perfectly fine. Then we moved to the left ear, and as soon as we moved to the left ear, I was just sitting there like just on a standstill waiting for the same noises from the right ear to come up on the left ear. Needless to say, I just sat there kind of just staring blankly because I could not hear like anything. It wasn't until the end that they were a little louder that I actually was able to hear them and do the click on them, which when the audiology results came about, and I'll see if I can find them and I'll insert them here. But when the audiology results came back, my hearing in my left ear clearly did not match the levels of my hearing in my right one. When I finally got in to see the doctor, he told me that this could be classified as sudden hearing loss and that there wasn't essentially like a potential specific cause to the hearing loss, but that he was going to put me on some medication first and go home and see how I did with that before choosing to go to an extra procedure. I did the first round of treatment and like really nothing changed. So I went back to see him a week later. He then proceeded to do the escalated treatment immediately. This one was a little bit more painful, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to lose my hearing. He did give me the speech at the beginning of that escalated treatment. He told me there's a 33% chance that we do nothing and your hearing comes back. There's a 33% chance that we do this treatment and it comes back, and there's a 33% chance that we do this treatment and you stay the same. I went through the treatment and nothing changed, so I went back and he told me, okay, we'll do the treatment one more time, and if nothing happens, then I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So I went back again and did that third round of treatment, and unfortunately nothing really changed. They did the audiology test again and I hadn't improved one bit. So this is actually called sudden hearing loss syndrome, and honestly one of the hardest parts is that there really isn't so much research about it, because he explained that going through this research involves people getting in the clinical trial and potentially some brain clinical trials, and people are not willing to do it just for some hearing loss. So in many cases, we don't really know exactly what did it or why it happened. In my case, we don't really know if it was because of the flu and all of that congestion, or if the actual concert was the one that really hurt me, or if it was just a combination of the two. All we know is that my hearing was never really the same again. Since then, loud environments really bother me. It can be actually a little bit painful, and I'd walk out with tinnitus and just in general ringing in my ear. So I was trying to just avoid loud environments in general, but sometimes I even get invited to birthday parties and stuff like that, and it can be a loud environment. I love music events, so I love concerts. So I needed to find some sort of a solution to help with this issue so that I could continue to embrace and enjoy life as before, even now after experiencing sudden hearing loss syndrome. So, really, for a while, I just kind of stopped doing certain things that I do love and enjoy, mainly because I was afraid of making this ear worse. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to lose it completely now if I'm exposed to loud environments again, or even at that, potentially losing my right ear even a little bit now that that's the only one that works at 100%. With all of that, I did learn my lesson, and I learned that you do have to take the extra steps and extra measure to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. Now, from that experience, every single time that I know I'm going out, I never know if I'm going to be exposed to a loud environment, but when I do know that I'm going to be exposed to a loud environment, I make sure that I am well prepared. So, with that, I was introduced to this incredible brand, Loop. I have put loops all over in every single purse. Like wherever I go, I need to make sure that my loops are with me. This is what they actually look like. I actually owned loops before this happened, but they were only to go to sleep to reduce noise. But then I learned that they do have different loops. These particularly are the loop experiences, which are the ones that I absolutely love to take with me everywhere because I'm able to not only enjoy what I'm doing, but I don't walk out with tinnitus. You can even see I added the extra protection in my left ear one to make sure that I'm protecting that one even further. I don't want to fully lose my hearing there. And truly, the only reason I agreed to do this video with Loop was not only to spread awareness, but because it truly has helped me just give me a little piece of things that I love and enjoy. I was able to go to the Coldplay concert last year. I was able to go see the Bad Bunny concert last year in Puerto Rico. And truly, I could not have enjoyed it as much as I did if it wasn't because I took my loops with me. It is something now that, like, wherever we're going to go, that it's something loud. My husband looks at me and he's like, "Do you have them with you?" And truly, the times that I don't, I have to walk out of the event because then it just becomes really painful for me. So loops have really just changed that around. And the coolest part is that you would think that it just blocks out everything, that you couldn't enjoy the concert, but really it just kind of blocks the noise around me, but I'm actually able to hear the artist even better. So it's just been a game changer. And if this didn't convince you to start protecting your ears when you go to concerts, I don't know what will. If you've never thought about protecting your ears before, this is your sign to start doing so. You never know that you could lose your hearing until you do so. So this is your sign to just start protecting your hearing wherever you're going to be in really loud environments, and to take your Apple Watch notifications seriously. Temporary hearing loss and even permanent hearing loss can occur.